Hi and welcome to Safe in the Real World. I'm Ahmed Syed, and in this series I provide you with the tips, insights and guidance on how to implement Safe in your unique environment. Today we're going to be talking about product ownership in Safe. I'm really excited to be talking about the product ownership role, and that's because I find it one of the more interesting roles in a Safe Agile team. And the reason for that is that it sits at the nexus of the customer and the team. And so the product owner is a conduit of the needs, wants and desires of the customer, and translates and passes these on to the team in a manner in which they can consume it. It's also perhaps one of the more, arguably challenging roles for exactly that reason. I mean, they need to have one foot in the market and one foot with the technology, understanding the needs and concerns of the team as well. So now let's have a quick look at how the product owner ensures that the team are building the right product or solution and the team is moving in the right direction. The first thing the product owner is responsible for is to define the why. Why is it we are doing what we are trying to do? What problem are we trying to solve? What impact or change are we going to have? What impact do we want to have on the lives of our customers? When we put effort into clarifying why something needs to be done, it can create a drive and ambition within the team that cannot be reproduced in any other way. I mean, when you look at the projects that succeed, it's those that have the biggest why, whether that's the Googles, the Facebooks of this world, or even if we look as far back as the project of human flight. I mean, when we look at the human flight project, the Wright brothers succeeded against a far better funded and equipped Samuel Langley Pierpoint because they had a purpose and a passion that was all consuming. Right, let's move on to the second, what I call the second W that the product owner is responsible for. And that is, what is it that the team must be doing? When we have this incredible team and they're capable of achieving incredible things, but they need guidance on what they should be doing. It's like you've got this amazing ship or aeroplane, and it doesn't matter how efficient or effective the ship or the plane is, or even how talented the team or the crew is. If you're not clear on where you're going, you're not going to get anywhere. So pointing the ship in the right direction is one of the most important things. The product owner does this through effective use of the team backlog in Safe. So lastly, let's have a look at the third W that the product owner is responsible for, and that is the when. The product owner is responsible for deciding the order when things are done. All organizations now, no matter how wealthy they are, have a constraint, obviously, in terms of the things they can get done within a certain period of time. So knowing when you are doing something and what you need to do is really important, but also knowing the order in which something needs to be done and something needs to be released is very important. So when we look at, for example, as an example, the mobile phone industry, and we look at when Apple released the first iPhone, it was missing so many of the key features and functionality we now take for granted. For example, do you know it didn't even have an app store? Or, for example, the camera didn't have a flash, no video, but it understood what features it needed to deliver. And it even understood the order in which it needed to deliver it. It didn't wait to have everything there, and it got to market early and captured the market and the imagination of the user in the process. Okay, so we've talked about product ownership in general, but now what I want to talk to you about is the difference between the product ownership role if you've got a single team or if you've got multiple teams. Okay, so for example, when we're looking at a single team, as in say when we're using a Scrum model, as I said, the customer and the market is the direct input into the product owner. And the product owner is a core part, an essential component of an Agile team within Scrum. Now let's have a look upon how that differs in Safe. So if you recall, within Scrum, the focus is almost entirely on one team is isolated to that one team. But within SAFe, you're only really going to be using SAFe when you've got multiple teams. So the model looks a little bit different. So the first thing, obviously, you had in the SAFe model is of the customer and the market input, which is pretty much the same. The next thing we're looking, though, is there's another role that we'll be talking about. This sits at the program tier, and it's called the product manager. Now, the product manager is the person that has that direct input into the customer. Now, you could argue that there's another arrow from here to here, and that's quite possible in many organizations. But SAFe has this idea of a product manager supporting multiple product owners. So let me give you an example just to clarify. If, for example, we've got a program, an Agile release train that is for Microsoft Office, you could have a team responsible for each product within Microsoft Office. So one may be Word, one may be Excel, and one may be PowerPoint, as an example. And you would have a product manager who could be responsible for the Office suite. Now, that's a simplistic example that I've given, and obviously you probably would have more than one team for just the Word product in real life. But that gives you an example of how these tie together in SAFe. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. That's product ownership in SAFe. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you very much. Bye.